find Patsy Walker as she opens the door and a wounded Beast topples onto her. Shocked at the appearance of Beast, she grabs and drags the delirious mutant onto the sofa to administer first aid after seeing he's injured. Knowing she should call Baxter, she feels the need to help when someone's life is at stake, and upon hearing those words, Hank's subconscious latches onto them. Thinking of how he used to be able to hide as a mutant before he experimented on himself and became the creature that he is now. He remembers his first battle with Iron Man and of being tricked by Mastermind into thinking he had killed the Avenger, and then of his confrontation with Quasimodo where he thought himself invincible. His thoughts turn to how his powers might be mutating further as he thinks of how all his enemies are connected and how he simply wants to find peace with Linda. Coming back to consciousness, he finds instead of Linda someone else watching over him. The first thing he sees is that his fur has changed to black, and Patsy tells him that it happened while unconscious and that he needs to rest, but he bolts up and moves to escape, fearing further mutation. Suddenly, she tells him that he's been running all his life and calls him by name, causing him to pause, and that he talked a lot during his delirium. We turn to the X-Mansion as Warren reads another news article about the sightings of a Beast at Brand Corporation and insists that there's trouble there. However, Xavier replies that it's Hank's problem, as he wanted to keep the X-Men away from him and that he's his own person now, but Warren isn't having it. Insisting that he's still an X-Man, he leaves to go to his friend, and Scott asks if he should stop him, but the professor declines as the Angel is merely doing what he feels is right. Back with Beast, he bounds across the rooftops thinking of his conversation with Patsy and is worried about her uncovering his secret identity when a giant talon grabs hold of his arm. Being drawn into the air, he is confronted by the Griffin, who tells him that he was sent by his masters to kill him and that he always succeeds in his assignments. Jesting of how so many supervillains have been after him, Beast narrowly dodges the Griffin's claw swipe and realizes how quick his opponent really is. Grabbing hold of Griffin's claw, he uses the leverage to kick himself away from the villain and falls towards the ground. However, he is caught in midair and, frustrated at all of the constant attacks on him, swings the Griffin onto a roof and goes to pull off his mask to learn his identity, only to see that it doesn't come off at all. It's at that moment Angel happens upon them, but doesn't want to get involved as he doesn't know which is the bad guy when Hank spots him. Wishing that Hank was there to help, as they both look like villains, Beast wonders why Warren isn't assisting him. Managing to knock the Griffin down, Angel moves to save him when Griffin twists around and bashes him in the face. Beast, seeing that he's fallen unconscious, leaps after him, grabbing him before he hits the ground, but in doing so, lands back first on the pavement. Above, the Griffin retreats to safety while Hank checks on his friend, who upon coming to, slowly realizes that Beast is his old friend when he carries him home, and Warren notes how different he sounds. Reaching his apartment, Beast explains how he must wear the disguise and how he hates having to strap his body into place, while Warren sympathizes due to having to tie his wings back. Seeing the time, he remembers his appointment with Baxter and asks Warren if he wants to join him, which he does, and upon leaving, Hank is once again spotted by the mystery woman, who hurries to catch him but fails to get his attention, fearing that they'll all die soon. We then turn to Linda as she contacts her superior, Number 1 from the Secret Empire, to register a complaint against the actions of both Quasimodo and Mastermind. Number 1, though, says he ordered Mastermind and wants to know why she didn't back Hank's story, which she claims she did it to strengthen her cover. Number 1 threatens her, though, when the Griffin swoops into her room wanting to talk with the leader. Worried that someone might have seen him, he reassures her, stating that no one ever sees him and that's why he started as a villain. Telling her how he used to be a regular punk, he was shown to the Secret Empire where they created his current persona but didn't tell him what it would cost him. He tells her how his augmentations were permanent when she leaves to go spy on Hank's meeting with Baxter, and she notices that Patsy is in the room with him. McCoy arrives on time with Warren in tow as the commander immediately demands to know why he was lied to the night before. Without missing a beat, Hank explains that he simply missed a few days for a get-together with Warren, but Baxter is skeptical, wondering why he wasn't told this before. Replying that they had spent the night arguing over a girl, the captain won't believe it of Hank when Patsy chimes in that it's true. Shocked at her words, she continues, saying that she ate out that night as she couldn't eat at home and ended up in the same restaurant as Hank and Warren. Baxter feels he has no choice but to believe her. Excusing themselves, Baxter warns that he's keeping an eye on them, whereupon reaching outside they strip off their disguises as Warren wonders what's going on, but Beast dismisses it. Heading out, Hank wants to take a path through the woods when he sees a shadow that doesn't belong to Angel, and upon turning is taken by surprise by the Griffin. Yelling that he's been sent to kill him, Beast knows that one hit from the assassin will end him when Angel recovers from the sneak attack and punches Griffin, causing him to drop Hank. While they duke it out, he uses his agility to swing himself around a power line and catapult himself towards his enemy. The Griffin, though, quickly recovers as Angel distracts him and Beast falls towards the ground to gain momentum, and grabbing a pole, swings himself even faster the second time, hoping to attack from behind. Below, a squad of soldiers spot the battle as they watch Beast fly back into the fray. As the battle continues, the fighters wear down and Beast becomes sluggish, still having not recovered from its wound beforehand, when the Griffin manages to grab him, boasting of his unbreakable grip. Moving to kill his prey with a bite, Beast manages to flip around and, using his long arms, grab hold and constrict the Griffin's wings. As they rapidly fall, Angel manages to get a punch in and Beast lets go right before the ground when he checks on his friend, and Warren tells him that though he was hit, that he's fine. Suggesting they hightail it out of there, they quickly leave the area. Later, they meet back up with Hank having finished telling Warren what's happened to him, and though he knows his friend wants to be left alone, offers his help if he ever needs it. Relieved that he was able to see his friend again, he decides to head to the library, where upon returning the books he borrowed, is spotted by the unknown woman. Not believing her luck, she follows after him as he begins flipping through a classic, and as she questioningly calls out his name, he turns around and when he sees who it is shocked.